Hey guys, we're going to do Thursday's DMR, and I did the questions before I made the video because I didn't want to take so long explaining everything because some of these questions were complicated, and while I was doing it, I realized I made a mistake on number 1. So I'm going to tell you the right way to do it and then tell you the mistake that I made. So, Tom makes $13 an hour on his job in a 2-week period. He works 75 hours. How much will Tom's paycheck be if he works 4 weeks and they take out $145 for taxes? So what I did is I took 75 hours and I multiplied that by $13 per hour. And then I got $975. Here's where I made the initial mistake. And there were answer choices to support the mistake. So they tried to trick me and they got me. The mistake is here. It's for 2 weeks because it's a 2-week period. He works 75 hours. And when I originally did the problem, I did this as 1 week. So when I came over to the second step, so I know $975 is for 2 weeks. So what I need to do is I need to double it, right? So I can know that 4-week pay. So when I doubled it, I get $1,950. But what I did with my mistake is I thought this was for 1 week and I multiplied it by 4. Here, you can see my mistake under here. I multiplied it by 4, which is not right because it says he worked a 2-week pay period and then they want to know 4 weeks. So we just need to double. And then it says they take out taxes. So once you get this answer, all you have to do is subtract the $145 to get $1,805. Okay, you see that? However, if you make the mistake like Miss Conley did, I'm going to move this so you can see the mistake. If you make the mistake I did, I looked at it as 1 week and then I multiplied it by 4 and then I subtracted the tax money and it was there, but that's not right because this was how much he made. 75 hours is across 2 weeks. So when they're asking for 4 weeks, what you have to do then is just double his pay because there's 4 weeks in a month. Okay. Woo, I'm glad I got through that one. Number two looks kind of messy. My numbers started to get a little large. So number 2 says that we have a pattern, and what would be the 10th number in the pattern? Well, when it first gives you the problem, you get a couple of the numbers. They don't tell you the pattern. You have to look at the numbers and see if you see a progression. So I saw 3 to 9 and 9 to 27, and my multiplication facts of 3 stood out to me because I knew 3 times 3 was 9, which is where those errors are coming from. And then I knew 9 times 3 was 27. So then I got out my calculator, which you are allowed to use to solve patterns, and I noticed that 27 times 3 was 81, and then I was like, okay, I'm on to something. So I checked my pattern again, times 3. I typed in 81 times 3, follow my arrow, and I got 243. So I said, okay, the rule is multiply by 3. So then I just used my calculator, and I did that until I found the 10th number. And I kind of extended little lines out so that I knew when I got to the 10th one, that was it. So my 10th one was 59,049. Okay? Yes, use your calculator. Don't kill yourself on that problem. Okay. Number 3. Can you see number 3? So number 3 is which one gives you the definition of a right angle. A right angle is an angle that measures exactly 90 degrees. And I kind of sketched one. 90-degree angles often have this box there to symbolize, hey, I'm a 90-degree angle. Okay? That one should have been quick. Okay. And then number 4. Number 4 says Jim had 490 pieces of candy. He split them with some friends, and each one got 14 pieces. Which equation would help you find out how many friends Jim had? So I kind of set it up here, and then I figured out a choice that matched my own. So I just started with the information. He has 490 pieces. He split, so I put division with friends. And the friends is the mystery. Remember, the variable or the letter or symbol you use represents what we don't know. So we don't know how many friends he has, but we know that at the end, each one got 14 pieces. So I wrote equals 14 pieces. This is the pieces. Sorry, my pen is not ready to be working. Okay, and the equation wants me to figure out how many friends he has. So I have it set up where I could figure it out. So then I looked down A, B, C, or D, and I was looking for which one was using division, essentially, because one is multiplication, one is addition, and one is subtraction. So the only one that had division was B. Okay. All right, and then the last problem, which was also a little bit difficult. So I wanted to kind of give you some time to figure it out with me. So I've kind of already done the work. I'm going to try to cover some of it up so we can talk about it. I mean, you see the answer, but... So the problem says that Joe and Sue and Pete were all making cookies. The table shows how many cups of flour that each of them used in the recipe. And then it says, I underline the question, how much more flour did Sue and Pete use than Joe? So the first thing I did was I wrote, I know I'm going to need to add Sue and Pete and then compare that with Joe. So I'm going to add Sue and Pete and then subtract from Joe. And that should tell me how much more they used. So it was a couple of different steps. So then I used the chart. Ignore my answer right now. Then I used the chart. I found Sue and Pete. I'm going to release the Kraken. Here it is. Oh my gosh. Can't be up here. So there's Sue and Pete. You see them? It was 5, 6, and 3/4. So I knew that the denominators weren't the same. I wasn't going to be able to add them. So I did a little M down here, and I found the common denominator was 12. So I changed my denominator to match. I got 10/12 and 9/12, and I added them. I got 19/12. So then I was like, well, that's more than a whole. So I just counted 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Okay, that's 7 over. So I just converted it to 1 and 7/12. You could leave it as an improper fraction if you wanted to. You could do the next part if you wanted to with an improper. I just thought it made sense. So there's step 1. Okay, I'm going to show you the M again. Here's the work. Okay, and then the second part was I had to subtract to find Joe. Ready? So here's where the answer comes in. All right. So I put 1 and 7/12 up top, and then I put Joe here on the bottom. He was 1 1/2. I didn't use an M here. I just knew that 6/12 is equal to 1/2, and that would give me a common denominator. So I want you to look at that. 6/12 is equal to 1/2. If you have 12 pieces of pizza and you eat 6 of them, you ate half the pizza. And then I was like, oh, wow, this is easy. 7/12 minus 6/12 is 1/12, and 1 minus 1 is 0. So it looks like there was only a 1/12 difference. Okay, I'm going to give you this full screenshot if you need it. Screenshot if you need it. All right. Love you guys. See you next week.